Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the PRA Wreckfest Endurance Cup Selection Show. I'm your host, Speeddog, and joining me in the booth for this awesome selection show is the one and only Millsy. What's going on, Millsy?
Hey, man, it's good to be here. I'm excited to see how this event's going to play out and who's all racing with us tonight or tomorrow night.
Oh, yes, indeed. I know a lot of people have been wondering what team I'm on, or even if I am on a team. Well,
Yeah.
everybody, you're going to find out here shortly. But before we figure out who's where, we got to do a little housekeeping. All right, guys. So, what is the Endurance Cup? The Endurance Cup is going to be a 60-lap race with 7 teams of 2. Millsy, what do you expect to see tomorrow night in this Endurance Cup?
Well, I'm expecting to see definitely the B class cars to take over the C class and maybe cause some lap traffic. It's going to be exciting. It's very unpredictable on what's going to happen for tomorrow night.
Wait, Millsy, you just said B class and C class?
I did.
Oh, you heard it here. We're going to be running 2 classes. One class will be in the Class B Raiden RS, and one class will be in the Class C Rocket. Now, how do we get to where we're at? Who's racing what? Well, last week we had a qualifying event. It was 10 laps at Pine Hills Raceway Short, and we took the top 14 times. And I did some finagling, some of the secret PRA metric, and we got the best 7 using the metric, running the B class, and we got the second best 7 out of the 14 running the C class. So, on one team, you'll have a B class, C class driver. Okay, they will be racing individually, but also together as a team to earn points. So there's 3 championships that can be earned: the C class, the B class, and the team championship. So I mean, this is team racing, but you're also racing individually. And the reason we have 2 cars with vastly different speed differences is because we wanted to throw in some excitement. We wanted to have that lap traffic. All right, but we want to give a little breakdown here. We got a cool little graphic that we want to show you guys of what to expect when it comes to tomorrow night. We will be racing at Midwest Moto Center. Millsy, you've raced here at this track. What are the drivers going to expect?
Well, this track is a very momentum-based track. It's got 2 lines that you can take, and I prefer, just definitely clean air is going to help a lot with this track. Clean air is important on any race. But you got a couple of turns that are kind of tricky. That first turn coming up the hill, that can catch you. There's a tricky spot there, and it can catch you and send your car up. And that's definitely going to be difficult. But I think these 14 drivers are more than capable of handling this track.
Yes, I do agree. So when it comes down to it, it's all dirt. You don't have to worry about any transition from asphalt to dirt. No weird bumps except for that jump. And I just want to give a quick shout out here to the designer of this graphic. His name is Deadmax. He has a whole entire track and arena guide for every single track in Wreckfest. I've been in talks with him. We were going to have something special in honor of him putting in so much effort. If you want to check out the full track and arena guide, links down in the bio. Every single track, even the new one, which I think is towards Dahlin, is did I say that right, Millsy?
Truesdalen.
Something like that. Starts with a T. Well, you can find out what it's like. Check the link in the description, the track and arena guide, the Wreckfest track and arena guide by Deadmax. Huge shout out to him. All right, guys, we're getting there. We're getting there. Everybody just settle down. We got an announcement to make. Over the past few weeks, the behind-the-scenes people at PRA has been trying to find a way to honor people that have been dominant or just made an impact in PRA in general. Well, we decided to create a Hall of Fame. And in the Hall of Fame, there will be a driver that gets inducted every year or every season before the season, and then we'll honor them at the end of the season banquet. Each driver will be discussed through the committee, and the committee will determine who deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Well, for the first inductee in the Hall of Fame, I felt like there was no other person on the planet that could be inducted in the Hall of Fame before this person. We want to go ahead and announce the first Hall of Famer in the PRA Hall of Fame, Luke Man 96. Millsy, what do you think when you think of a Hall of Fame, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Championships.
Exactly. And there's no better person in PRA that has more championships than Luke Man 96. Guys, he has been from the start, 2014, my right-hand man in all of this. He's watched PRA through its highs and lows, and he retired last season from full-time competition. I have his Wreckfest stats here. Now, at the end of the year, when we honor him in the end of the year banquet, we're going to have his full stats, even Grand Theft Auto stats. So, if you think the stats I'm about to announce are dominant, awesome, special, wait until you tune in to the end of the year banquet and see his GTA 5 stats. So without further ado, Luke Man 96, first inductee into the PRA Hall of Fame. His Wreckfest stats are as followed: 11 seasons raced, 133 starts, 6 championships, including a back-to-back-to-back season 1, 2, 3 title reign. He was the PRA Challenge champion, and it has been undefeated in league versus league competitions. When you think of this man, you think of success, you think of dominance, and that's exactly what he is in PRA and even outside of PRA. He has 39 wins, 33 poles. That ranks first in PRA Wreckfest. And he has 1,344 laps led. The second most has like 400. So when you think about that, just the dominance, that record right there is going to stand alone. The lap sleds are going to stand alone through the next few seasons to come, and who knows, probably further on down the road. Well, so congratulations, Luke Man. We will honor you at the end of the season banquet when it comes time. But for now on, welcome to the first class of the Hall of Fame. All right, Millsy.
Yeah, definitely well deserved there. No doubt about it. If I could be even as half as good as he is, I would be more than ecstatic to retire.
Yeah, it's the same. I mean, me and him, we've had battles through the first seasons before we really took off earlier in this year. So, I mean, it's been me and him battling for the longest time. So, without further ado, the moment everybody's been waiting for. So, if you left the stream because we talked too much, join back in because we're about to announce the teams. Alrighty. So, Millsy, you want to go ahead and introduce team number 1?
Absolutely. Red team will be B class M Schwartz 300, C class Petrie 08.
All right, as you see on the screen right here, we had M Schwartz and Petrie 08. That's the team. I mean, you have the Global Series champion of M Schwartz teaming off with a solid competitor, Petrie. Now, when I think of this, I think obviously we already know Schwartz is going to be dominating in Class B, but he's also going to have some heavy competition. Petrie, we got to look at Petrie here. Petrie's puts on a heck of a show. I mean, he had a 7.1 metric score. The closer you get to 1, the better. If you have a 1 metric score, you have a perfect metric score. So he had a 7.10 in the Silver Series. He was the 13th quickest time however. So the 13th quickest time, he barely got in. We were taking 14. He had the 13th quickest time. So Petrie, M. Schwartz, that is Team Red. All righty, everybody. Team Red. Moving on down the line, we're going to introduce Team Orange. We got? I Think I Can W in Class B, and Soulpun 8621 in Class C. Millsy, what's your thoughts on this right here?
I like both of these guys together. I mean, you got Soulpun. Soulpun has came out of nowhere and just surprised everybody in this league. And then you got W. W, it's more of a surprise if he doesn't win. So
I mean, we've been saying for the longest time he needs to change his name to I Can W, besides I Think I Can W, because he wins about everything he competes in.
Absolutely.
I mean, he was the PRA Invitational champion. You know, he had to go through a gauntlet to get there, and then you have Soulpun right here in Class C. I mean, he's the only bronze driver in the field. Just a quick rundown real quick. We have 2 global drivers, 5 gold, and 6 silver, and 1 bronze. So he's the only bronze driver, and he was the 11th overall time. So when we look here, W had the number 1 overall time in the qualifier. He went 38.133. So quickest time in the qualifier, and then we match him up with the Bronze Series champion. This team is going to be a tough team to reckon with.
I agree. Definitely going to be a hard team to beat. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them in the points on first place.
All righty, we're moving on. That's 2 teams down, 5 teams left to go. If you're viewing in tonight, welcome into the selection show. We're going to get ready to release the 3rd team. Millsy, take it away.
Green team will be B class Zuris and C class Grandpa.
Now, this is, we're not going to call it the controversy class, but it is a heavily stacked class. So we had the typical road course ace, or the oval ace, Zuris, turned road course ace with Grandpa. So Zuris had the 2nd quickest time, and Grandpa had the 7th quickest time. So he was in that upper threshold. Well, we're not just going based off that one event. We have all these statistics, okay? All these statistics for a reason. So let's use them at hand. So when we went through this, I looked at the times, I looked at the metrics, and I just figured that Grandpa would best perform in Class C. He had a Silver Series metric of 5.25. So that is the 5th out of 6 Silver Series drivers. Okay, so he's the 5th ranked Silver Series driver according to the PRA metric, even though he put down a blazing lap time. So I think the Zuris and Grandpa getting put together, I think that's a good matchup. All right.
I would definitely agree with that. Both of those guys you can't sleep on. Zuris is very quick and competes with W consistently. And Grandpa was on my tail all season. So definitely not a slow driver.
Yeah, and you know, he was in the prime position to win season 1 of the Bronze Series, Gold Series, in the Bronze Series championship. So I mean, he came down to a final restart. He ended up losing it to Bob 16_91. So I mean, he has the speed, he has the consistency. I mean, he comes in here into silver this year and he makes a name. He makes a name for himself. So all right, moving on. The 4th team getting placed together is Team Yellow. The 2 drivers that are going to be on Team Yellow: B class Frylock 23, C class Colt Chevy 88. All right, the controversy begins. Somebody's going to hate every single pick. Millsy, what's your opinion on this team right here?
So I'm going to call this the dream team here. Colt Chevy, he's a silver driver right now. but we all know where he needs to be. He needs to be gold. Frylock's in gold too. He's running top tier gold. I like this team right here. I definitely like them. They're both quick. Colt really improved, and Frylock's just always been fast. So I think this is going to be a team to beat.
Yeah. I think it is as well. I mean, all these guys there's so many fast drivers, and Colt barely made it into the show. Okay, he qualified 14th. He was less or a little bit over a tenth over Bobby. Colt ran a 38.745. Bobby ran a 38.828. So, I mean, he almost didn't make this event. So, I mean, people were saying he stacked. He has the second best metric score out of the qualified Silver Series drivers. But, I mean, at the end of the day, will he be able to perform? I personally think Colt is going to be able to live up to the pressure. But, I mean, you got to think of all the other amazing guys. I mean, we still got 3 more teams to announce. In Frylock, he has the network issues. Okay, so if his network can hold up, I mean, the high ping issues that he deals with week in and week out, I mean, if his internet relaxes for 60 laps, that's going to be a very good team to watch. But you said that's your winner, right, Millsy?
That is going to be my pick for the Endurance Cup.
Well, I hope that, I don't care who wins, I just hope it's different from Class B to Class C, and I guarantee you it is going to be it. So it's going to take, I mean, 2 drivers to perform well in order to lock down the Endurance Cup championship. So without further ado, I think this is you, team number 5.
Yes, this will be the blue team, D. Westberg 7 and Ty Hard 94.
As you see right there, D. Westberg is going to be in that Class B, pretty color Class B rating. And then you got Ty Hard, the Baja Bash champion, Class C. Come on now. I mean, I'm looking in the chat. Everybody's saying all these teams are stacked. I mean, we'll just look at it. Yeah, all these teams are stacked because guess what? PRA stacked. I mean, these are the top 14 quickest drivers in one event. So, I mean, yeah, these guys, it's going to be a crazy event. I mean, D. Westberg, Silver Series champion before. Ty, he's won his off-season event, the Baja Bash, in a dominating fashion. So, that might be my team to look out for. We know Ty is... It's easier to pass a kidney stone than it is to pass Ty. Okay, I mean, I've been there with him at Bloomfield Race 1, season 12. So I mean, this past season, Race 1 Bloomfield, good night. I didn't think he was going to get off my back. But anyways, we love Ty. Ty's a great competitor. We need the Ryan Newmans in here. Yeah, as Can't Hit Outlier just said in the chat, this is a sleeper team. This is a low-key sleeper team, if you ask me. So, D. Westberg ran the 8th quickest time with a 38.533. Ty Hard ran the 12th with a 38.667. So, D. Westberg, looking at his stats, he had a 3.75 metric score in the Gold Series, and then going down to Ty in the Silver Series with a 4.55. Yeah, sleeper team indeed. However, moving on to the 6th team. It's Team Purple. Squeller _22 in Class B, and Teague 10 in Class C. Now this team right here, well, I'm saying all the teams are stacked because all the teams really are stacked, but I mean, Teague is a C-class legend, if you think about it. Like, you think of Teague, think of C-class. Squeller, you think of maple syrup and pancakes. At least I do. But Squeller, he had the 5th quickest time out of qualifying with a 38.369. Teague had the 10th with a 38.648. Squeller had a 3.75 metric score in the Gold Series. Teague had a 4.8 in the Silver Series. Man, I don't know about you, but I'm getting excited for this tomorrow.
Yeah, there's no doubt that team is going to be fast, and they're going to come in hot and stay hot the entire 60 laps.
I mean, 60 laps, me and you, we're going to be in the booth commentating it. It's going to be absolutely crazy. I personally cannot wait. I am beyond ecstatic for this event. I mean, geez Louise, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. We're going to run normal damage. I know we originally said realistic damage, but we're going to run normal damage because we want everybody to make it to the end. We don't want someone to get screwed out incidentally and then their 60 lap race is shot. It's 60 laps, the max you can do, normal damage, because we want the drivers to make it to the end. Now, we have the 7th and final team. They're the last, but most definitely not the least. You want to go ahead and introduce them?
Yeah, we got Pink Team, Captain Napkins 88 and Wired 10.
Now, looking at this team, I think it's going to be pretty interesting. I mean, Captain Napkins ran in the Gold Series. He had a 5.30 metric score. Like I said, closer to 1, the better. Wired, he had that 2.2 metric score. Silver Series, dominant Silver Series run for him. We look at the times. Wired was the 4th quickest overall. He was the 4th quickest overall on lap times with a 38.293. Captain Napkins was the 9th with a 38.549. So, I mean, we look at this team right here. A guy qualifying was in C class. He's the 4th quickest, but he's going to be racing in C class. Captain Napkins is going to be up in the B class. I mean, these teams, every single one of them stacked, and I can't wait to get into this lobby tomorrow and just see all these guys compete against one another.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be fun, and I can't wait to see it.
All right.
Anybody has a chance to win that thing, and as much as I favor the yellow team here, it's anybody's game.
Yeah, I mean, the yellow team, I mean, Colt, Chevy, and Frylock, that's going to be a really, really stacked team. All the teams are stacked. So just real quick, guys, we're going to run down the Class C entry list and then followed by the Class B. So on red team, we have Petrie. Orange is Soul Pun. Green is Grandpa. Yellow, Colt Chevy. Blue, Tyhard. Pink will be Teague, or purple will be Teague. Pink will be Wired. Those are your 7 guys. Now, if you had to pick a winner out of this entry list that you see on your screen, who do you think will win?
I got to go Colt Chevy, man. I'm favoring that yellow team, and he has got.
You're hard on the yellow team, aren't you?
I am. There's a bunch of people in here that could win. I wouldn't count any one of these guys out, but I would love to see Colt win, and I'd love to see Wired win. Ty Hard, we have a love-hate relationship, so. And Grandpa, definitely. Grandpa's everybody's favorite.
I mean, I can't pick a winner, but if I was to pick one, I'd put all the names in the hat, shake the hat up, and pick one out because that's just how I feel. I mean, we're looking on these. I feel like, imagine Colt, Chevy, and Ty Hard running 1-2, and Ty's in first, and Colt's trying to get around them after 60 laps. You think that's going to happen? And I can go ahead and just see Teague waiting to pass them. And then, we got Petrie, Soul Pun, Bronze Series driver. I mean, I'm excited to see how he's going to do. The only Bronze Series driver. And he's the Bronze Series champion. He earned his way in. He raced his way in. Everybody had the same opportunity, and he put down the 11th fastest time. So it's not like he barely made it in. I mean, he made it in. He made it in easily, in my opinion. So I mean, you look at the C class, and it looks like a Silver Series lobby. In my opinion, the Silver Series. This is probably what Silver Series is going to look like next year, minus a few drivers. A few of them probably be bumped up into gold. But C class, oh man, cannot wait. Moving on, however, the B class. What do you think when you see this list right here?
Fast.
Yeah,
There's no other way to put it. Just fast.
and I think when I look at this, when I look at this list right here, I think I'm lapped before I blink.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we look at that, the only track I know they won't beat me on is Mudford Motor Park. All right, everybody hates that track. Love that track. Ain't none of them can touch it. I won the Gold Series race. I beat W. I beat you, W, if you're listening still.
And you know he is.
Oh yeah, we know he is. So we're looking at this entry list right here. Once again, they're going to be in the B class rating. So just a fun trivia for everybody in the crowd. Anybody still here? How many times do you think the leader of B class will lap the leader of C class? 60 lap race. Go ahead and put in the chat here. We're going to wait on everything to load in, but how many laps ahead do you think the B class leader will finish in front of the C class as we wait on the results to come in? All right, we're going to go ahead and go on over to 12. Wired says 12. Wow. So we think D West says 1. So 7 from Paul. I mean, a lot of different variations right here. I see 1, 7, I see 3, so 9 from Hyper. So it's all over the place. I'm going to ask you, Millsy, how many laps ahead do you think the B class winner will finish over the C class winner?
I want to say 5. 5 laps.
Well, I'm going to jump out here and I'm going to go on the higher end. I'm going to say about 10. I mean, 60 laps, there's no cautions to regroup the field. 0 cautions to regroup the field. So, I mean, it's an endurance. You know, you run your best race, and fatigue will be playing a factor. So we'll have to see exactly how this fatigue is going to set in. Will they be that big of a gap? I mean, who knows? I mean, you're going to have to tune in tomorrow. Millsy, if you had one thing that you're most excited about seeing tomorrow, what would it be?
Definitely seeing how that B class is gonna get around that C class. I know you get a lot of C class drivers that can make their car 4 wide at times, and with the team racing, I think a lot of blocking is going to be in play.
Yeah, there is going to be. I mean, when it comes down to 10 laps to go, you know, and say red team is right behind blue team, and you got a red team C class car. I'm not trying to call anybody out, just using it for example. I mean, that guy might block the blue car and let his teammate go around, like you're saying. I mean, it's team racing, but it's also individual racing at the same time. So who knows? I mean, if that red car is in the lead, he might not try to slow up. He might just try to win C class. And so anyhow, I mean, it's going to be a very interesting race, guys. Those are the teams for tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We hope everybody enjoyed the stream. Millsy, any final words?
Just good luck all the racers out there that are listening, and go out and have fun. It's going to be a heck of a race, and I can't wait to watch.
Me neither, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Get to grinding.